So you're here with Dr. O, and my special guest Maya. The topic of today's blog is sunscreen use safe for everyday use? This topic can be very extensive, and I've reviewed a lot of literature that I will attempt to summarize in a clear, concise way. First, let's mention the established points that the majority of people in the field agree upon. There is strong evidence linking ultraviolet light exposure to skin cancer formation and to photoaging of the skin. There's no denying these points. Now, the stuff that becomes unclear in literature and still needs further studies to fully tease out is the safety of sunscreen use. The media has had it out for sunscreen for a long time, but their credibility can be questionable at times. Let me summarize very briefly what we know. There are two main types of sunscreen. There are mineral blockers, which theoretically sit on the surface of the skin and reflect UV rays off the skin. These are the ones that are traditionally very thick and chalky and they don't rub in well, although newer formulations have improved this. And then there are chemical blockers, which get absorbed into our skin and theoretically stay there and absorb UV rays that enter the skin. The distinction is important when we start to analyze the data. And to be clear, both types of sunscreen have a strong association with preventing both photoaging and skin cancer. So, recent evidence has shown that chemical sunscreens do in fact get absorbed systemically by the skin. This means that levels of these chemicals have been identified in your bloodstream after use. No clear evidence has determined that these chemicals in our bloodstream are harmful though. I want to make this point clear. There have been various studies attempting to determine if systemic absorption of chemical sunscreen ingredients are associated with harmful effects, but no clear consensus has been reached, and further studies are needed to establish this. Now, in regards to mineral blockers, studies have shown that mineral blockers do not get absorbed beyond the uppermost layer of the skin. There have been recent concerns of nanoparticles used in mineral blockers causing potential health issues, but nothing clear-cut enough for me to comment on at this point. So this is where we break it down for you. We do know that sunscreen decreases aging and risk for skin cancer. We don't know what effect sunscreen may have on our health. Therefore, weighing the risks and benefits, I personally think the benefits of wearing sunscreen outweighs the risks of not wearing it. That being said, if you're ultimately a person who worries about the unknown, I think there are potential options for you to consider. To start with, using mineral blockers can avoid the concern for systemic absorption. Also, wearing sun protective clothing, wide brim hats, UV films on car windows, and avoiding sun during peak hours are all things we can incorporate into our day-to-day lives to help decrease our dependence on sunscreen. Other issues with sunscreen, such as the effect on the environment, is a whole other topic that we won't get into today. This was just meant to be a brief overview, and I hope it was helpful for people with general questions regarding sunscreen.